Hi everyone. Happy to see you again with one more lecture. And before going to the lecture, I would like to express my sincere gratitudes to you all who have been supporting me by watching my videos on grammar and vocabulary. So, with this encouragement, I have come up with one more lecture, and today's lecture is on noun case or noun cases. So, uh, once again, let me introduce myself. My name is Paul. I'm an assistant professor of English at Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Dundigal, Hyderabad. Let's move on to the today's lecture. As I mentioned here, the lecture is on noun cases. So, in this lecture, we will be looking at two things. One is, as the title suggests, noun cases. That is the title for today's lecture, right? So, in this lecture, we'll be looking at uh, two parts. One is uh, the meaning of case. So, what is the meaning of case? And the second one is, what is the meaning of noun case? So, before we go into details of noun cases, we'll be looking at the definition of case, the word case, right? Once you are uh, once you get a clear understanding of the word case, then the next part is noun case will become easy to you to understand. So we'll be looking at the meaning of case. Secondly, we'll be looking at the meaning of noun cases also. And the third one, the types of noun cases. So, by the end of this lecture, you'll be able to understand the word case in grammar, the meaning of noun case, and various types of noun cases. So, we are looking at three things in this lecture. Let's jump into the topic. So, as I told you, that we would be looking at the meaning of case. So, here I mentioned the meaning of case here. A case is the grammatical relationship of nouns or pronouns to other words in a sentence. I'll put it in this way. Case is the grammatical function of a noun and pronoun, right? It talks about how the noun functions in a sentence. And not only that, how noun and pronouns perform their duties in a sentence. Along with this, case will also talk about the relationship of a noun or pronoun with the other parts of a sentence. So, what type of relationship the noun or pronoun will have with the other parts of a sentence? This is what the case talks about. So, case is the grammatical function of a noun or pronoun in respect to its duties or relationship or uh, uh, functions in a sentence. So, that's what I mentioned. It's a grammatical relationship. What type of relationship that the noun and pronoun have with the rest of the sentence, right? Or you can say case means how the word noun and pronoun will be performing its duties in a sentence. So, case is the grammatical relationship of a noun or pronoun in a sentence with the other parts of a sentence. One, case talks about the relationship of a noun or pronoun with the other parts of the sentence, or case is a case talks about the functions of noun or pronoun in a sentence, right? Now, when it comes to noun case, a noun case is the property of a noun. You know what is case? Case is the grammatical relationship of a noun or pronoun with the other parts of a sentence. When you specifically talk about noun case, no doubt we are specifying noun case. So when you are specifically talking about the noun case, it is the property of noun or pronoun that shows the relationship of noun or pronoun to the rest of the sentence. More or less, meaning of noun case or meaning of case is the same. So noun case means, right? No doubt it's the property of noun case, and what type of relationship that the noun have with the rest of the sentences. That's what noun case means, right? So noun case is the property of a noun or pronoun that shows the relations of the noun or pronoun with the rest of the sentence. No doubt you will find a noun as a subject, or in object case, or sometimes sentence starts with the subject. So wherever the noun may be in a sentence, right? What type of relationship that the noun have with the rest of the sentence? That's what the noun case means, right? So we've seen the meaning of case and we've seen the meaning of noun case also. Both means more or less same, right? Case or noun case talks about the relationship of a noun or pronoun with the rest of the sentences, right? Now, let's move on to the types of noun cases, right? So, we've got 5 types of noun cases, and in that, the first one is nominative case or subjective case, and the second one is objective case or accusative case. Third one is dative case, and next one is possessive case or genetive case, and the last one is vocative case. So we've got 5 types of noun cases, right? And while looking at each type of noun case, we'll be looking at the relationship of each type of noun case with the rest of the sentences. That's what the noun case means. Noun case means what? The relationship of a noun or pronoun with the rest of the sentence, right? So we'll be looking at each one in detail. So I've given a pictorial description for the types of noun cases here. See, noun case, right? As I told you, we've got 5 types of noun cases: accusative case, nominative case, dative case, vocative case, right? possessive case, right? Let's move on to discuss one by one in detail. The first one is nominative case, right? This can also be called as subjective case. So if you look at the title of the first type of noun case, you can easily guess the meaning of this case, right? So this has got two names. One is nominative case, the other one is subjective case. Subjective case, the name itself gives you a clue about the meaning of the first type of case, right? Let's look at what is this nominative case or subjective case. So, when a noun acts as the subject of a verb, when a noun acts as the subject of a verb in a sentence, it is said to be in the nominative or subjective case. So, if a noun functions as a subject to the verb in a sentence, obviously, you'll find subject, verb, and object in a sentence. Generally, subject would be noun, generally, but this is not the correct in all the cases, but most of the cases, subject would be either noun or pronoun, and moreover, we start the sentence with a subject, right? So, if a noun functions as a subject to the verb in a sentence, then it would be said as a nominative case or subjective case. So when do we call uh, the noun is a subjective case or nominative case? If the noun functions as a subject to the verb in a sentence, subject to whom? To the verb. That's what I mentioned here, right? Subject of a verb. When a noun functions as the subject of a verb in a sentence, it is said to be in nominative case or subjective case. So we'll be looking at more about this subjective case, right? So in a subjective case, noun will be functioning as a subject directly to the verb in a sentence. To identify the subject in a sentence, you can ask a question with either what or who. Or if you put what or who before a verb, then you will get answer in the subjective case. So here my point is, if you want to know the subject case in a sentence, then put what or who before the verb. I'll explain this with the example here. Here, Meena is dancing, right? Meena is dancing. In this, the verb is dancing. You may get a doubt about is. Is also a verb, but it is a helping verb. So I am talking about the main verb. Meena is dancing. Here, if you want to know the subject, as I told you, just mention who or what. Just say who is dancing. Then your answer will be who is dancing? Meena is dancing. So that noun Meena is in subjective case because the noun Meena is directly functioning as a subject to the verb dancing, right? So Meena is subjective. Meena is in subjective case and it is a subject directly to the verb dancing, right? That's why Meena is in subjective case. Now look at the second example. Sachin was talking to his friends. So as I told you, to identify the subjective case here, you should use either what or who before the verb, right? So here Sachin was talking to his friends. Just mention who before the helping verb was. Who was talking to his friends? Sachin was talking to his friends. So if you want to identify the subjective case in a sentence, it is very simple. Just put who or what before the verb, right? For example, Ramu ate an apple. So here, this is one sentence. To identify the subjective case here, as I told you, mention who or what before the verb, right? So what is verb here? Ate. So since Ramu is a person, then use what, who ate an apple. Who ate an apple? Then the answer will be Ramu, right? So, to identify subjective case in a sentence, just ask question or use who or what before the verb so that you will get the answer in subjective case. Or whatever the answer you get for who or what will be the subjective case. So, subjective case means noun functioning as a direct object to the verb. Here, Meena is the direct subject to the verb dancing. Sachin is the direct subject to the verb talking. So, subjective case means if a noun functions as a direct subject to the verb, then that noun would be called as subjective case, right? Now, let's move on. We've seen the subjective case or nominative case, right? Let's move on to the second one, objective case or accusative case. Both means the same, objective case or accusative case. What is it, right? The objective case refers to when a noun or pronoun is used an object, or you can say a noun or pronoun used as a direct object to the verb. Generally, object comes after the verb in a sentence. We will see that. So, the object may be a direct object or indirect object or object of a preposition, right? Now, we'll be looking at the direct object. If a noun functions as a direct object to the verb, then that noun or pronoun would be called as objective case or accusative case, right? If a noun functions as object direct object to the verb, noun or pronoun, if a noun or pronoun functions direct object to the verb, then that would be called as an objective case. So look at the example. uh, I wrote one sentence in the for the previous example. The same I'll write here. So Ramu ate an apple. Take the same sentence. Here Ramu is subject and the object is an apple. Now generally uh, objects comes after the verb, right? So here Ramu is a subject, you know that, and the object is an apple. So I'm talking about the objective case. An objective case is a noun or pronoun which directly functions as object to the verb. Here, apple is an object which directly functions as an objective to the verb ate. right? It's a noun, no doubt. An apple is a noun. This noun functioning as an object to the verb directly. That's why it is called an object or objective case, right? So, uh, if a noun or pronoun functions as a direct object to the verb, then that noun or pronoun would be in an objective case or an accusative case. So here an apple is in accusative case or an objective case because it functions as a direct object to the verb ate, right? So objective case or accusative case means a noun or pronoun which functions as direct object to the verb would be called as an accusative case. So we'll look at some more examples. So here I met Sauji. This is the example. Here in this example, met is the verb and Sauji is an object or in object position. So Sauji is the in an object position directly to the verb met. That's why Sauji would be considered as an objective case because Sauji is the direct object to the verb met. Right? Now look at some more example. The vendors sell mangoes. Here mangoes is an object because it comes after the verb, or you can say object is the person or thing or whatever which receives action of the verb. That's what the object means. Whoever receives the action of the verb will be called as an object or an objective case, right? Who received the action here in the first sentence? I met Sauzi. Sauzi received the action met, right? So that's why Sauzi is in the objective case, and moreover, Sauzi is the direct object to the verb met, right? So whichever comes after the verb would be considered as an objective case generally, right? Here the vendors sell mangoes, right? Here mangoes is an objective case because it functions as a direct object to the verb noun. Here noun, sorry, verb. Sell is the verb. And mangoes functions as direct object to the verb sell. Here Sauzi is a noun which functions as a direct object to the verb met. Right? That's why they are in an objective case. Look at one more example. Um, so here we'll be looking at this example and this one in with the other case. So I'm talking about a noun or pronoun which functions as a direct object to the verb would be called as an objective case, right? Whatever the noun or pronoun functioning as direct object to the verb would be called as an objective case, right? And we'll see some more example. uh, I explained the topic. Here explained the verb and the topic comes after the verb explain, and this is an object which directly functions an object to the verb explain. That's why this is called, the topic is called an objective case, right? And see, Varalu cooked biryani, right? So here biryani is an object because cooked is the verb. Biryani comes after the verb cooked, and this biryani is a noun and it functions as a direct object to the verb cooked. That's why biryani is in the objective case, right? So the noun or and the noun or pronoun which functions as direct object to the verb would be called as an objective case or an accusative case. Now move on to the third one, which is dative case. What is the dative case? A dative case means the dative case refers to the cause used for a noun or pronoun that is an indirect object. So here you should look at one, right? This is very important. Dative case refers to the a case used for a noun or pronoun that is indirect object, right? I'll explain that with the example here. So here we gave a bone to our dog, right? We gave a bone to our dog. Here we is the subject and gave is the verb, right? Generally, as I told you, whichever comes after the main verb would be considered as an objective case. But as I also told you that this is not correct in all the cases, but most of the cases. But here, see, what comes after the verb gave, a bone, and to, right? And what is object here? Our dog, right? Here, as I told you, whichever comes after the main verb will be called as a direct verb, right? So here the direct object is a bone, right? Because which comes after the verb gave. We gave bone. But does it make sentence? Can we end the sentence with we gave a bone to? Then the question would be, right? Whom? Right? So we gave a bone to our dog. Here, if you remove a bone to, then the sentence makes a complete meaning, right? We gave our dog meaning, right? We gave our dog. But if I say that, what did you give? Then a bone, right? So this whatever comes between the verb and the direct object would be called as a dative case. A dative case is nothing but an indirect object to the verb. Indirect object to the verb. I'll explain this with one more example. See here, we gave our dog a bone. See, if you remove this, right here, uh, our dog is used as an indirect object, but in earlier sentence that is used as a right. So we gave our dog a bone. If you remove our dog here, that this sentence also make sense, right? We gave a bone. Then you ask whom? Our dog, right? So whatever comes between the verb and the direct object is considered as indirect object. This indirect object is considered as a dative case, right? So let us look at some more example. You can understand the dative case, which is an indirect object to the verb, right? So look at the example. The teacher gave the student a few exercises, right? The teacher gave the students. Here, what comes after the main verb gave? The student. It's an indirect object to the verb gave. What is the direct object? See here, the teacher gave a few exercises. The teacher gave few exercises. Few exercises is the direct object to the verb gave. But what is this? The student, it's an indirect object, right? So if I say that the teacher gave a few exercises, makes sense. But immediately you ask whom? Then I say a student, right? So indirect object is, gives little extra meaning to the direct object, gives a clarity, right? The postman brought me a letter. The postman brought me, here brought is a verb, main verb, and me is an indirect object. Then what is direct object here to the verb? A letter. The postman brought a letter, right? So main verb and the direct object, right? What is there in between? The indirect object, me. The postman brought me a letter, right? So a dative case is the indirect object to the verb, right? If the noun functions, a noun or pronoun functions as direct object to the verb, then that would be called as an accusative verb or objective verb. But if a noun or pronoun functions as an indirect object to the verb, that would be called as a dative case. Dative case is nothing but a noun or pronoun functions as an indirect object to the verb. This indirect object comes between the verb, main verb, and the direct object, right? Now, get him a pen. So here, him is an indirect object because get is a main verb and pen is an object, direct object to the verb get. So, get him a pen. Him is an indirect object, that's why it is in dative case. Now the fourth one is possessive case, or this can also be called as a dative case, and this will be dealing with the apostrophe, in the punctuation marks, right? About the apostrophe, right? So what is this possessive case or genitive case? A possessive case, also known as the genitive case, and it is the form in which a noun is used in order to indicate that something belongs to, right? In a possessive case or genitive case, noun is used to indicate that something is belong to someone, right? Something is belong to a person or a thing or whatever, right? Possessive case talks about the noun or pronoun belong to something, right? So uh, just to say this possessive case, we use apostrophe, right? So in English, the possessive case is not only used to indicate belongingness. Generally, the moment I say possessive case, you may get a meaning that possessive case talks about the belongingness of something to someone, right? That's what the meaning that we know. But along with the belongingness, there are many other meanings that we can convey with the possessive case, right? This possessive case can be shown with the symbol, right? I mentioned here, right? This is the symbol for possessive case, right? Apostrophe. So when you use apostrophe on certain word, you think that it is talking about the possessiveness, right? If you're using apostrophe on a particular word, it not only talking about the possessiveness, along with the possessiveness, it gives so many other meaning, right? What are the other meanings that we get by using the apostrophe, right? Look at different meanings by using the possessive case here in these sentences, right? Here, daddy's pet or the president's advisor. Here I used possessive apostrophe here. No doubt it's talk about the possession or belongingness. This is one meaning, right, of possessive case. Next, the tides ebbing. This is another, see, tides ebbing. I used possessive case, apostrophe. Tides ebbing or army's presentation. What is the meaning of the apostrophe here or possessive case here? Subject of action. Army's presentation. So it is talking about the action of the army. What is the action? Presentation. So possessive case talks about the belongingness. That's one meaning. And the second meaning is, if you're using a possessive case on a particular word, it talks about the action also, right? Tides ebbing or army's presentation. Here the possessive case is used to talk about the action of the subject. Now look at the next example. The company's lawyer, the hero's betrayal. Here, the possessive case talks about the object of an action. So if you are using the apostrophe on the subject, it talks about the action of the subject. If you are using the apostrophe on the objects, uh, then it talks about the action of the objects, right? The company's lawyer, right? And the hero's betrayal. Here, objects of an action, and then learner's dictionary or a woman's college. Description or type. Here, this possessive or apostrophe gives what meaning? The description. So, whose college? Woman's college. Here, the possessive case giving description of the college. Whose college? Woman's college. Right? Learner's dictionary. Whose dictionary? Learner's dictionary. Right? Next. So other meaning is attribute. By using apostrophe on a particular word, it can also give a meaning of attribute. Right? Gretchen's kitchen. Gretchen's kindness. Hero's bravery. Here, the apostrophe talking about the I don't know, apostrophe, no, giving attributes to the noun. Right? Now, another meaning of using apostrophe is origin. If you are using apostrophe or possessive case on a particular word, it means that you are talking about the origin of a particular thing. See, Beethoven's symphonies, talking about the origin of that thing, right? Grandmother's letter. That letter has come from the grandmother, right? Origin. And the other meaning of using the apostrophe is measurements and amount. See here, a day's journey. How long your journey went on? My journey went on a day, or it's a day's journey, right? An arm's length. So by using, you can use apostrophe or possessive case to convey different meaning. So far we've come to know that apostrophe is used to convey only the belongingness. Of course, it can be used to talk about the possessiveness. Along with the possessiveness, the possessive case can be used for different meanings. So we can see all those things: possession or belonging, subject of an action, object of an action, description or type, attribute, origin, measurement or amount. These are different meanings. For that, we can use the possessive case. So I given a pictorial description for all those meanings of apostrophe, right? See, the monkey's tree means possession, right? The woman's car, possession, right? The boy's shoe. Here, if you are using plural noun, you should be careful in using the apostrophe or possessive case. For example, if you say boys, it may boys car. So here I used apostrophe after y. It shows that belongingness. That car belonged to so and so boy, boy's car. But if you're using plural to say that uh, this car belonged to the group of boys, how do you use the possessive case for it? So just use apostrophe after the yes. If you're using after the plural, if you're using apostrophe after the plural, then that talks about the possessiveness of the group of boys car, right? For example, I mentioned some more examples. See here this talks about one boy's car because the apostrophe comes after y, boys. But here I use the apostrophe after yes. It means that plural, boys, right? Now my sister's room. my sister, one sister's room. But here, if I say my sister's apostrophe, I used apostrophe after plural. It means that this room belongs to all my sisters, right? So if you are using apostrophe after the plural yes, then that talks about the possessiveness of the entire, right? The woman's car and the monkey is here. I'll explain that with one more example. So if you are using plural noun, then if you want to talk about the possessiveness of the plural noun, then use apostrophe after that plural marker yes or es, right? So here, see, sister's room means singular. I used apostrophe after or. Belong to my one sister, right? This room belong to my one sister. But if I write the same thing like, so I have many sisters, and this room belong to all my sisters. That's why this is a possession of all sisters. That's why I use the apostrophe after the yes, right? So you must be careful in using the apostrophe or possessive case for singular as well as for plural, right? Now look at the possessive with of how normally we make mistakes while using the possessive case, right? So population of Paris, but you might have heard people saying that Paris population. This is wrong. Paris population. Either you can say population of Paris, or you can say uh, Paris population, but you should not say Paris's population. Normally, some people see here how it is used, Paris, then apostrophe, then yes. It means to say that they wanted to say that Paris, entire Paris population. That's what they mean to say. But the meaning that they conveyed with the written explanation is wrong, right? So they have to use the apostrophe after the yes, Paris. If you use apostrophe after yes, then that conveys the meaning of, the population of Paris. Now look at toys of kids. Now here, this is normally we say like this. This is wrong. Then how to say it correctly? Kids apostrophe yes, toys. Right? I'm talking about the correct use of possessive case. Now, hotel of girls. Some people say girls is hotel. No. So girls hotel. Put apostrophe after yes. Girls hotel. That's it. Means possession of group of girls, right? House of Jonas. Jonas's house, no. Jonas' house, apostrophe after yes. So this is the correct use of possessive case, right? Now move on to the next one, vocative case. Vocative case means, see, a noun or pronoun is said to be in vocative case if it is used to call a person or persons. If you call someone with a name, that name can be called as a vocative case. For example, see there, Mr. Bill, students are waiting for you in the main hall. Here, the name Mr. Bill is in vocative case, right? The sentence is directly addressing to the concerned person by mentioning the name of that person, Mr. Bill, right? Students are waiting for you there in the hall. So Mr. Bill is in the vocative case. So vocative case means what? A noun or pronoun is said to be in vocative case if it is used to call someone, to call a person or persons. You there, stand up. Here, you, by looking at someone, you there, stand up. It means there, you is in vocative case. Now, brother, a letter for you. So here, brother, directly addressing to the person who is standing there as brother, a letter for you. Here, Brother is in vocative case. Chairman, all the letters are posted 2 days ago. Telling to the chairman. Chairman, all the letters are posted 2 days ago. Here, the chairman is in vocative case. So, a noun or pronoun is said to be in vocative case if it is used to call a person or persons directly, addressing a person or persons directly with a name or whatever, right? So if you address someone with the name, then the name would be in vocative case, right? Look at the some more example. Commas. So while writing the vocative case sentence, you must be careful. You must use commas after the vocative case. Look at the sentence. I know it is true, Simon. So I know it is true, comma, then the name of the person, Simon, right? I know you very well, Mr. Saujanya. There, very well, comma, Saujanya, right? So, hello, Janet. Hello, Wani, right? So, after hello, comma, so use comma if you are mentioning the name of the person in the beginning, use comma. For example, Wani, sit there. There you have to see Wani, sit there. I'm addressing to Wani. I'm telling to Wani. Wani, comma, sit there. This Wani is in vocative case, right? Or you can say same sentence like there, like this also. Sit there, Wani. So here, sit there, comma, Wani. So you must use comma after the vocative case if you start this sentence with the vocative case, and you must use comma before the vocative case if you mention the vocative case at the end of the sentence, right? So these are the resources that I have referred to prepare this lecture for you. Thank you very much for patiently listening to my lecture.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.